The worst thing you can do for your English? Study grammar. Wait. Don't close this podcast, please. I promise that statement will make complete sense in about 30 seconds. Just stay with me.
Cheryl, you can't just open with that and expect people not to panic.
Okay, here's what I mean. Grammar study is not the problem. The problem is when grammar study is the only thing you do. When you spend years memorizing rules, filling in blanks in a textbook, getting full marks on grammar tests, and then a real English speaker says, "Hey, how's it going?" And your brain just completely freezes. Because grammar rules alone don't build fluency. Daily habits do. And that is what today's episode is all about.
Perfectly explained. Welcome, everyone, to the Everyday English Chat Show. I'm Dan.
And I'm Cheryl, and today we are bringing you something genuinely game-changing. 10 daily habits for English fluency. Not tips from a textbook, not abstract advice, real habits. Specific, achievable, practical things you can start today that will actually move the needle on your English. Let's go!
Habit number 1. And this one might seem obvious, but most people massively underestimate it. Listen to English every single day, even if it's just 10 minutes. The reason this works so powerfully is that your brain learns language through massive input. The more English you hear, the more natural it becomes. Your brain starts to recognize patterns, rhythms, phrases, without you even consciously trying. It's like marinating your brain in the language.
I love that image. And the how is so easy. Podcasts like this one, obviously, English music, TV shows, YouTube videos, audiobooks, anything in English. And here's a useful distinction. There's passive listening and active listening. Passive listening is when English is playing in the background while you're doing other things. Cooking, commuting, cleaning. Active listening is when you sit down, focus, and really pay attention to every word. Both are valuable. Passive listening builds familiarity. Active listening builds comprehension.
And I will confess something embarrassing. In my early language learning days, I used to fall asleep listening to English podcasts every single night. And I would wake up genuinely feeling like I had learned something, like the English had just seeped into my brain while I slept. I'm not saying sleep learning is scientifically proven, but my fluency did improve, so who knows?
I love that. Okay, listeners, your challenge for habit 1, today, not tomorrow, today. Find one English podcast, one English song, one English show that you genuinely enjoy and listen to it. Just 10 minutes. That's all. Start the habit today.
Habit number 2, and this one always gets a laugh when I say it. Talk to yourself in English. Out loud. Yes, really. Here's the thing. Speaking is a muscle. And like any muscle, it only gets stronger when you use it. But most learners only practice speaking when they're in a lesson or with another person, which means they're practicing maybe a few minutes a week. That is not enough. So you practice alone.
And the specific technique is narrating what you're doing. You're getting dressed in the morning. You say out loud, "I'm putting on my blue shirt. It's a bit cold today, so I'm also going to wear my jacket." You're making coffee? "I'm boiling the water. I'm measuring out the coffee. The smell is wonderful." This is called thinking out loud, saying your thoughts as you think them. And it's one of the most powerful speaking exercises that exists because you're forcing your brain to find English words in real time. And I have a confession. When I was learning English, I used to have full conversations with myself in the shower. Like, not just narrating, actual conversations. I'd be both sides of the dialogue. "So, Cheryl, how was your day?" "Well, it was quite interesting, actually. I went to the market," and full scenes. My flatmate at the time genuinely thought I was on the phone every single morning. She asked me once, "Who do you always call in the shower?" I had to explain. She gave me a very concerned look.
That is committed language learning right there. And listeners, for the next hour after this podcast, try to narrate just one thing you do in English. Wash the dishes? I'm washing the dishes. The water is warm. I'm scrubbing the pan. Just one activity. Think out loud in English. Go! Habit 3, and this one is about being smart with vocabulary. Learn 3 new words every day. Not 30, 3. I know that sounds almost too small to matter, but here's the math. 3 words a day is over 1,000 new words in a year. 1,000! And the difference is this. If you try to learn 30 words at once, you'll forget 28 of them by tomorrow. 3 words, done right, you'll actually remember and use.
And done right means choose 3 words in the morning, then try to use them in sentences throughout the day, then review them at night. The important thing here is learning words in context, not just memorizing a definition, but seeing the word in a sentence, in a situation. And there's a useful distinction here: active vocabulary versus passive vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is words you recognize when you hear or read them. Active vocabulary is words you actually use when you speak or write. The goal is to move words from passive to active.
Such a good point.
Now, I have to tell you about the time I learned a very advanced vocabulary word, ephemeral, which means lasting for only a very short time. And I was so proud of this word. I wanted to use it immediately. So at dinner with friends, I said, completely unprompted, "You know, this pasta is really ephemeral," meaning it was going to be gone soon. Everyone stared at me. Someone said, "Cheryl, do you mean it's delicious?" And I said, "Yes, that is also what I mean." Wrong context, wrong moment, completely wrong.
That is such a perfect example of knowing a word, but not knowing how to use it, which is exactly why context matters so much. Okay, listeners, what 3 words have you heard today that you didn't fully know, just from this podcast so far? Ephemeral, passive listening, active vocabulary. Write them down, look them up, use them in a sentence before the day is over.
Habit 4. Watch TV and films in English with English subtitles. Not your native language subtitles, English subtitles. And the reason this distinction matters so much is that when you use your native language subtitles, your brain reads in your language and completely ignores the English audio. You're not learning, you're just watching a translated show. But when you use English subtitles, your brain has to connect the spoken word it hears with the written word it reads. And that connection is incredibly powerful for language learning.
And what do you watch? Cheryl, I know you have opinions here.
Strong opinions. I say comedies are the best for language learning. The language is fast, natural, full of slang and casual expressions. You hear how people really talk. The Friends effect is real. Generations of English learners became more fluent because of that show.
I actually disagree. I think dramas and documentaries are better because the speech is clearer, slower, more formal, which is great for building proper vocabulary and comprehension. Both have value. Comedies for natural, casual speech, dramas for clarity and vocabulary. Mix it up.
Fine, I'll give you that one. And here's a technique that takes TV watching to a whole new level: shadowing. When a character says something, you pause and you repeat exactly what they said. The same words, the same speed, the same emphasis, the same intonation. You copy them completely. It feels silly. Do it anyway. It is one of the most powerful fluency techniques that exists because you're training your mouth and your brain to produce natural English patterns.
Listeners, your challenge. Tonight, watch 20 minutes of your favorite show in English with English subtitles. And if you're feeling brave, shadow one scene. Repeat the lines right after the characters. Yes, you might feel like a bit of a goofball. That's fine. That's how you learn.
Habit 5. Keep a daily English journal. Now, before you panic, I am not talking about writing long essays. I'm talking about 5 sentences a day, just 5. about your day, your feelings, what you had for lunch, what you observed, what made you smile. The reason this works is that writing forces you to actively construct sentences, to reach into your vocabulary, to think in English, rather than translate from your native language.
And the mantra for this habit, write this down. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be practiced. Your journal is not being graded. Nobody is marking it. It is purely for your growth. The mistakes in your journal are not embarrassing. They are evidence of effort. And over time, you'll look back at old entries and genuinely be amazed at how much you've improved.
I started a journal early in my English learning, and honestly, my first entries were something else. I found one from years ago that said, and I'm quoting directly, "Today I went shop. The weather was very much cold. I eated a sandwich." Eated. I wrote eated. And you know what? I'm proud of that entry because I showed up. I tried. And showing up every day is how eated eventually becomes ate. Every single time.
Oh, I love that story so much. And one bonus tip, there's actually evidence that writing by hand rather than typing helps you remember things better. Something about the physical act of writing seems to help your brain encode information. So try pen and paper if you can. Listeners, tonight, write 5 sentences in English about your day. Don't overthink it. Don't edit yourself. Just write.
Habit 6, and this one is genuinely one of the most important on the list. Learn phrases, not just words. Here's the key insight. Native speakers don't speak in individual words. They speak in chunks, in patterns, in set phrases. When a native speaker wants to agree with someone, they don't think agree and build a sentence around it. They say, I couldn't agree more, as one unit, as one chunk. That whole phrase comes out automatically.
This is called chunking, learning groups of words as a single unit, and it's how fluency actually develops. Not word by word, but chunk by chunk. So instead of just learning the word understand, you learn the phrase, I totally get what you mean. Instead of just happy, you learn, I'm absolutely over the moon. The phrases come out whole and natural because you've stored them whole.
Exactly.
And this is also why direct translation, word by word, so often goes wrong. If someone learns the word for happy and the word for much and tries to combine them into I have much happiness, grammatically it makes some sense, but it doesn't sound natural at all. Whereas I'm so happy, 3 simple words stored as a chunk comes out perfectly every time. Learn the patterns, not just the pieces.
Listener challenge for habit 6. Think of one phrase from today's episode. Not a word, a full phrase. Maybe, I couldn't agree more, or I totally get what you mean, or thinking out loud. Write it down. Use it this week in a real conversation or in your journal. Own it.
Habit 7. Find an English-speaking partner or community. Because here's what all the solo habits can't replicate: the experience of real-time communication. When you're speaking with a real person and they say something unexpected and your brain has to respond right now, spontaneously, without preparation, that pressure is what builds true fluency. You can't prepare for every conversation. You have to train yourself to respond in real time.
Right. And the how. There are language exchange apps where you can find someone who speaks English and wants to learn your language. You practice English with them, they practice your language with you. There are online communities, conversation clubs, social media groups. And honestly, a friend who is also learning English is perfect. You can practice together, make mistakes together, laugh together.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing I want to say about this habit is do not wait until you feel ready. I hear this all the time. I'll start speaking with people when my English is better. But your English only gets better by speaking with people. It's circular. You'll never feel ready. That feeling of not being ready never fully goes away. The only solution is to start anyway. Start talking. Start now.
Your challenge. This week, reach out to one person to practice English with. One message. One. Hey, Would you like to practice English together sometime? That is all it takes to start. One message. Do it.
Habit 8. Mimic native speakers. Listen and repeat. Here's a truth about pronunciation and rhythm. You do not learn them from rules. You learn them by imitation. Think about how babies learn to speak. They hear sounds over and over, and they copy them. They don't study pronunciation charts. They listen and they mimic. And as an adult language learner, that same principle applies.
The technique is simple. Find a short audio clip, maybe 30 seconds. Listen very carefully. Then repeat exactly what you heard. Not just the words, but the speed, the stress, the rhythm, and especially the intonation. Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice as you speak. It's the music of the language. English has a very specific music to it. Certain words get stressed, certain syllables rise, certain endings fall. Getting the intonation right is what makes you sound dramatically more natural.
Let me demonstrate. If I say, I never said she stole my money, with wrong, flat intonation, it sounds like, I never said she stole my money. Robotic, unnatural. But with the right English rhythm and intonation, I never said she stole my money. It flows, it sounds real, it has music. Same words, completely different feel. That's the power of intonation.
Such a perfect demonstration. Okay, listeners, here is your challenge for Habit 8. Go back right now or later today, find any 30 seconds of this podcast. Listen to it once carefully, then press pause and repeat exactly what you heard. The speed, the rhythm, the intonation, the music. Do it like an actor. Be us for 30 seconds.
Habit 9, and this one is transformative if you actually do it. Make English part of your environment. Here's the principle. You become fluent in the language you are surrounded by. If English only exists in your classroom or in your study time, your fluency will always feel like a school subject. But if English is woven into your everyday life, your phone, your music, your social media, your home, it starts to feel like your language.
This is called immersion. Surrounding yourself so completely in a language that it becomes your default mode. And the brilliant thing is, you don't need to move to England or America to immerse yourself. You can bring the immersion to wherever you already are. Change your phone to English. Follow English accounts on social media. Put sticky notes in English around your house, your fridge, your mirror, your desk. Play English music while you cook or clean. Make English unavoidable.
I changed all my devices to English. My phone, my laptop, my tablet, all at once. And it was great in theory. In practice, I spent the first 3 days not being able to find anything. I kept pressing the wrong buttons, opening the wrong apps. I texted my mom something completely incomprehensible because I accidentally changed languages in the middle of the message. It was chaos. But within about a week, my brain had adapted completely, and I've never switched back.
My tip is slightly less dramatic. Just change your phone to English for 1 week. Just 1 week. Notice how fast your brain adapts. Your brain is incredibly smart and incredibly adaptable. Give it English inputs and it will start thinking in English. Listener challenge. Right now, while you're listening, go to your phone settings and change the language to English. Do it. We'll wait. Seriously, do it right now.
And finally, habit 10, and I believe this is the most important one on the entire list. Be consistent. Not perfect, consistent. The biggest enemy of fluency is not bad grammar. It's not limited vocabulary. It's not even speaking with an accent. The biggest enemy of fluency is inconsistency. Doing something for 5 minutes every day is dramatically more powerful than doing it for 3 hours once a week. Dramatically.
This is the concept of compounding in language learning. Think about a bank account. If you make small deposits every single day, $5, $10. Over time, with compound interest, those tiny deposits grow into something enormous. Language learning is identical. Small daily actions compound over time into massive results. Every 10-minute listening session, every 5-sentence journal entry, every spoken narration of your morning, they add up. And one day you look back and you can't believe how far you've come.
Right.
And the mantra for this habit, write this on your wall, put it on your mirror, make it your phone wallpaper. Progress over perfection. Stop waiting to be fluent before you speak. You get fluent by speaking. Stop waiting to be confident before you try. You get confident by trying. The version of you who is perfectly fluent is not going to appear one day. They are being built right now by every small, consistent, imperfect action you take.
And I want to say something about mistakes because I think this is so important. A lot of learners are terrified of making mistakes in English. They stay silent because they don't want to say something wrong. But here is the truth. Every mistake you make in English is proof that you tried. It is evidence of bravery. The person who makes 10 mistakes in a conversation is learning 10 times faster than the person who says nothing. Mistakes are not the opposite of learning. Mistakes are learning.
Every mistake you make is proof that you tried, and trying is exactly how you get there. That is the truth, and we genuinely believe it. Your challenge for Habit 10, pick one habit from today's episode, just one, and commit to it for 7 days. Not forever, just 7 days. See what changes, see what happens. We think you'll be surprised.
All right, rapid fire recap. 10 habits. Ready? Habit 1, listen to English every single day. Habit 2, talk to yourself in English. Habit 3, learn 3 new words every day. Habit 4, watch TV in English with English subtitles.
Habit 5, keep a daily English journal. Habit 6, learn phrases, not just words. Habit 7, find an English-speaking partner. Habit 8, mimic native speakers. Listen and repeat. Habit 9, make English part of your environment. And habit 10, be consistent, not perfect. Progress over perfection every single day.
And before we go, a truly enormous thank you to every single person listening right now. The fact that you are here, that you chose to spend this time working on your English, that you care enough to show up for yourself like this. We see that. We appreciate it more than we can say. And we want you to know that we genuinely believe in you, every one of you. Until then, be consistent, be brave, be kind to yourself, and keep going. You are closer to fluency than you think. I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Dan from the Everyday English Chat Show. We will see you in the next episode. Now go listen, speak, write, and make some beautiful English mistakes. And as always, if you're not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Bye for now.